playing Roblox.
I just started
Fucking
recording.
fucking playing Funky Friday.
I just started
Wow.
recording.
I'm playing
Okay.
Sell Lemons Tycoon.
Okay.
Bro, we want to play some Funky, bro.
Bro, I can edit
Dude.
this in post. It's fine. Hello and welcome to the Low HP Club. I'm your host, Kaya Riversong, and if you're wondering what exactly the Low HP Club is, honestly, so am I. So the idea behind this is pretty simple. Life is weird. Being an adult is weird. Most of us are just trying our best while running around with half a health bar and pretending we know what we are doing. This is going to be a space where we'll talk about gaming, music, mental health, life, relationships, internet culture, and pretty much anything else ends up living rent-free in our heads. Some episodes might be deep, some might be chaotic, and some will most likely be a bit of both. For this first episode, I wanted to talk about something that I think a lot of people can relate to: being adults with absolutely no clue where our lives are going. So to help me figure this out, I have invited my wonderful partner, Sam Ramjam, and one of our closest friends, Sam the Voidborn, here to join me. Together, we're going to talk about growing up, expectations versus reality gaming, life, and all the weird side quests that we somehow ended up on. So grab a drink, get comfortable, and welcome to the Low HP Club. And welcome, Sarah and Sam. Hello, boys.
It's in the basement now.
Hi.
Yeah, they just dragged us out of the basement for this.
Yeah, I don't. Can I go back? I don't.
It's nice and dark down there, bro.
Yeah, no,
I
I
really
said
like-
you will talk.
Yeah, but
Too much light up here.
it's too late.
I don't want to be here.
I like that. Please speak at the volume you're gonna be speaking at. Immediately start screeching into the
Immediately
microphone.
starts. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know what
So
else they
is the
expected.
gimmick for the low HP podcast just that you're gonna have that gaming low HP beep going the entirety of through the entire
Oh yeah,
podcast?
no, that's gonna be edited in post.
Just in the back of beep 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 beep. Fucking, you can't hear jack shit.
The heartbeat thumping, you know.
Yeah, red, like the red jam on the edge of the screen.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So I'm gonna start with tell everybody who you are. Tell the viewers who you are if they don't already know.
Step aside, Sam.
Okay.
I am Storm the Voidborn, the greatest in overconfidence and born of the void. I run a YouTube channel where I stream and do various things, and you've likely seen me before, and if not, well, quite frankly, you're missing out. And that's me.
Sam, your turn.
Hi. I'm Sam. I'm Kaya's partner. That's it.
I don't do anything.
That's about it.
That's your personality right there.
Sam is
Yeah.
mod extraordinaire. Sam is
That's
Sam head mod of everything ever.
don't boil my existence down to being a Discord moderator. That's not great.
Hashtag Sam
because
the Discord mod.
He's also not a good mod in YouTube because he essentially is like an eager dog with the banhammer, and I have to be like, no, bad.
No. Okay, so I want to touch on a bit of so the title for today's show is 3 adults, 0 clue, low HP. So I want to kind of touch on okay, opening this up to the floor. Has your life so far turned out how you expected when you were younger? So your younger self, would they look at you now and be thinking, damn, that's exactly where I thought I was going to be? Because I know for one, I definitely, my younger self is probably looking at me going, what the hell? girl, what went wrong? So would you say that your life has turned out how you expected it to be thus far?
No.
No, not in the fucking slightest.
Yeah, no.
Not, I don't think my younger self could have expected much of a bigger difference than what he thought compared to what I am now.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's fair. I mean, I think. What about you, Sam? What do you think?
Yeah. No, definitely not. I but then again, I had pretty unrealistic hopes. Uh
Oh well,
that kind of
what did you hope?
Yeah, what
well,
what tell us
my
about those
my
unrealistic hopes and expectations.
well, my various like career choices or career aspirations changed throughout life. As a very young kid, it was a professional football player
And then it
because I
turned
played a
to
lot
a
of football.
stripper. Male
And then
male stripper.
Yeah, when he turned 10, he wanted to be a professional stripper.
yes, that was certainly around that time. Then after that, it sort of like converted over towards the it converted over towards the as like games started becoming a big part of my life, converted it over towards the professional esports athlete.
Okay.
Ah,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
And after that, as I kind of disappeared away from the Counter Strike
League of
scene,
Legends. Oh, that's
League
it.
of Legends.
yeah,
No, the
it was
trauma.
it wasn't that bad. It was Counter Strike,
It was
but
It
wait,
was
that's worse.
worse.
as that kind of went away from that, it then went on to be what it still is now, I suppose, which is living off of music in some way or fashion. But that as well as you know a pretty far fetched goal, I suppose. But
But
Well,
it's one you can aspire to.
you're really
yeah.
good at music. Like I'm gonna y'all if you when this is released, if y'all check out the description, I will be linking some of Sam's music for y'all to go and have a listen. Go and
It'll
check
be
him out on Spotify. He's so
my
good.
one release song on this current alias. Yes.
So I know for me,
I suppose I could drop whatever theme song I make for this podcast. I
yeah,
could
oh for
turn that into
sure.
a
Yeah.
I know for
but
me, my expectations growing up were I started out I wanted to be a ballerina. I think
Oh
every
no, that's a
I think
classic.
every little girl wanted to at some point in their life wanted to be a ballerina. And I was determined. Like I did dance, I did theater, I learned ballet, I learned tap. I was a dancer.
I remember a 6-year-old who wanted to be a lawyer.
Was it you? Were you the
No.
6-year-old that wanted to be a
you, the 6-year-old,
lawyer?
wants to be a lawyer.
I mean, a 6-year-old girl. So I'm like, not all of them wanted to be
Uh,
ballerinas. Some of them wanted to be problems.
That's
you were a 6-year-old
fair.
who aspired to someday need a lawyer.
Okay, so so I wanted to be a ballerina, and then when that changed, I wanted to be a vet.
Oh, that's a good
I
one.
wanted to be a vet, and then I realized when my hamster died, I could not be a vet because I cried for like 4 days. I was like, no, I can't be a vet.
Like, how am I supposed to be putting animals down when my own one
When my
dies
own
and I'm
one
like
died
this?
because
Yeah.
my brother put it in the microwave, and now I can't stop crying.
Okay, so can we pivot for a second? So
No,
like,
I feel like I don't want to pivot. I feel like I just want to
Move
leave that
on.
unexplained.
And then when
So I have to vet.
after vet,
hmm,
when I went through high school and went to our equivalent of college, which is like 16 to 18. We call it college, but I know in America they call it like university college. It's really confusing. I did like all like uniform public services, and I wanted to be in the public services. I wanted to be a police officer. This was after I'd
hmm,
already applied to the army at 16. You
I was
know,
gonna say,
Yeah.
so I wanted to be a police officer. Then I went on to do my policing degree and realized, oh my god, the system is so corrupt. I can't do that.
That system is so corrupt. I couldn't be bothered to try and fix it.
There's only one of me. So now like
It would have been one more than there was before.
now I'm like getting my master's degree in like criminal investigation. I'm working I've done all sorts like in careers, but none of it was being a ballerina.
Yeah,
None of it
no.
was being a ballerina whatsoever. So
I had some really strange aspirations when I was younger.
Okay.
I think the first one I wanted to be a train conductor, which I know is probably the most
I mean,
That
autistic
is
thing
so
you could say.
fair. Oh,
oh
Sam, the
no, I
train
just made me
conductor.
realize. That just made me realize this makes so much sense now. I don't
Why?
Huh?
understand. I don't
Huh?
understand why no one. I don't understand why no one pick up on the fact that I was autistic by the fact that when I left kindergarten, like before like preschool and stuff, like actual
Yeah.
kindergarten, when I left kindergarten, my favorite teacher gave me a book, like a little book that she had made herself of just printouts of various trains because my biggest interest was trains as a kid.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
But yeah, I wanted
And
to
you're
be.
telling me no one clocked the autism when my
But
teacher made me a custom
I mean,
train book?
that's a side hustle right there, making train books for kids. She should have
I
she
could
should have charged you something.
I could earn money off that actually. That's a good like fallback plan.
But yeah, I wanted to be a train conductor, and I genuinely think part of it came from just like I remember I loved traveling by train because I just love trains. I thought they were the
I
coolest fucking
still
things.
do.
Yeah, I still love trains. But I remember one of the things that happened a bit later was I watched the fucking Garfield movie.
Mm.
And in that one, there's like this scene with like where like you get to see the guy who changes all the like the track directions and has that big like railway like fucking blueprint where you see all the lights displaying which side the track is moved to. And I remember I wanted to be that guy, the guy that was up there,
Oh.
changing the track directions.
Oh.
Yeah.
Don't fucking awe at me.
Oh.
After that, no, this is probably one of the biggest fucking. After that, I wanted to be a demolitionist.
That
There
explains
you
so
go.
much considering how we've
uh,
played Teardown together, the three of us. That explains so
Hmm.
much.
but yeah, I wanted to be a. I think that came from one random video that I watched from the Yogscast. They played a demolitionist game, and I was like, holy shit, this looks. That I want to be the guy to like tear down old buildings. That sounds fucking fun. That stuck for a while, surprisingly enough.
I
Oh
love that
yes.
for
And
you.
then it shifted to content creator, which you could say is what I'm doing now. But to that degree, I didn't actually think I would ever become content creator. It was one of those dreams you have, like wishing to be a superhero. You don't ever expect it to come
No, of
true.
course, naturally.
So now I'm started on it. So some might say, "Oh, but you did want to be it." Yeah, but I didn't expect I would be it.
Oh, you know, and that's the thing. Like, I think that's really realistic in the fact that everybody has a thought of that they could do something, but deep in the recesses of their mind, they know it's very unlikely that that's gonna happen.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
so leaning on from that, obviously we've talked about career aspirations and but what do you think is something currently that you're like, whether it's career related or whether it's excuse me, or whether it's like hobby related or special interest related, like trains,
Yep. Love our trains.
what would you say is something that you're better at than you give yourself credit for? So I know for me, for one, I've realized a lot recently that me and my books, I'm a lot better at writing than I give myself credit for. Like I've just started
Yeah.
I think my third novel I've just started to write. Yeah, they sit unpublished in my like files because I'm too scared to publish.
Yeah, I get that. I get that. I mean,
But I
yeah,
would say
yeah,
for me
I can
it's
agree.
definitely writing for sure, for sure.
I
Well,
can I would say writing, but I would be lying if I said I didn't think I was very good at writing. So I can't say that that's something that I don't give myself kind of credit for. Um, and I think I think something like editing, which is something I started on recently. I know I'm doing pretty good, but at the same time, I'm constantly sort of looking at how other people edit videos and thinking, God, could I do that? I don't think I could. and then being like,
Your
well, how the
editing
fuck?
is so good though. Like when I tell you, I watch your videos back simply because they make me laugh hysterically. Like the overcooked video, I can't tell you how many times I've watched that video. Honestly,
Well, yeah, but that's the thing. Like, I can tell that I've gotten pretty good at it, but that doesn't mean that I'm not going to look at someone else's editing and think, fucking hell, that's fucking well done. I can't do that.
what?
Fair.
That's the beauty of imposter syndrome.
Oh, absolutely. What do you think, Sam? What would you say is something that you're better at that you than you give yourself credit for?
I don't really know, but equally, I have to say, like, isn't another one of the reasons why yours sit unpublished is I don't. Which ones do you have like fully finished? Because you kind of start a lot of projects, don't you?
Yeah,
I can relate to
I've
that.
got two finished.
Which ones? You never told
I'm
me.
not gonna say them out loud on the podcast. God no. No.
Okay, well, that's fine. Let me know later.
I will let you know later.
I'm
Yeah.
curious which one she's actually finished and what kind it is. Um, I don't know. I couldn't really tell you what thing I don't give myself enough credit
I
for.
can tell you it's not
Um,
cooking. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
oh yeah, all right, yeah.
No, that one I got to agree with. You fucking suck.
I mean, I don't attempt to cook well. I don't even attempt to
Maybe
cook.
you should start.
Maybe
So
you should stop before you even start. Quit while you're ahead.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I
Um,
couldn't really tell you what it is.
that's fair. You know that's completely fair. Um, so follow up. Um, what do you think? Like, how do you think what are your next steps? Like where you are now in your life, what are your next steps moving forward? Like have you got a plan? Like I always said I'd have a plan. Like I'd have like a 10-year plan. I can honestly tell you that after my parents passed away, my plan went out the fucking window. Like out the
Yeah.
out the window.
Yeah, I can imagine. I
No
can
I
imagine that
no
kind of
idea.
fucking shook the
Oh,
table.
I was like, yep, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna be doing this by the time I'm 25. I'm 26 this year, and I'm nowhere close.
I mean, I barely have a fucking 1 month plan every month. Like I barely have a plan for the day after.
I mean, how long did you spend trying to decide what game you were gonna stream today?
Yeah, like I spent like half an hour, like an hour and a half or something, trying to figure out what the fuck to play today. And it ended up not being what I picked.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, no, I am very much just going with the flow. But honestly, I don't think I mind that. I very much have realized that as much as I like to be structured, I am just the kind of person where if I get structured and I get into a proper like a proper organized plan, I'm not gonna be able to do anything else because I'm gonna feel like I am going against something that I set up for myself. Like I'm gonna feel like I can't deviate from it even in the slightest bit,
yeah,
which I feel is worse than sometimes getting things wrong but having full freedom.
yeah. True.
So I have absolutely no plan, but you know what? I have absolutely no problem with that too.
That's so fair. I think for me, like I've always wanted to be like in a position where I have a plan. Sam can attest this. I don't like not having control. I am by definition a bit of a control freak.
Yep.
I have to have a to some extent a degree of control. Like I have to know where I'm going
Fair.
because I think I got so used to like I don't know the best way to describe it. I got so used to the fact that whenever I would lose that control and lose the light on my path as to where I was going, I always had that fallback of it's okay, I can go back to mom and dad's, you know, and I can go back to mom and dad's and I can figure it out from there. But as
Yeah.
soon as that fallback option was taken from me, now I kind of feel like I have nothing to fall back on if I don't stick to my path.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
if I do fall, I am simply gonna fall into, no pun intended, but I am gonna fall into a void that I can't find my way out of. Like I can't.
Your Fred is having a plan,
Yeah.
and
Oh, absolutely.
if you get off that Fred, you're not gonna be able to make a new one. Is what you're worried about.
Pretty much. I think it's taken me a long time. Like since I got together with Sam, like it's taken a long time for me to feel comfortable enough to fall back and accept that things happen, things change, things that are out of my control a lot of the time,
Yeah.
and that there is always a way to find my way back from whatever sort of the repercussion has been of me falling off of my plan.
Yeah.
So I think for
Yeah.
me, it's difficult because I don't have a plan. Well, I kind of do, but it's the plan is very conditional.
Yeah.
It's not an unconditional plan that's guaranteed, but then again, nothing is these days, is it?
Yeah. Nothing is guaranteed anymore.
Yeah.
So I think my plan is, I mean, my plan in the end is to finish my masters, get my masters, and then get my PhD. Because my master's in a very niche area, so a PhD is basically a no-brainer, but equally an almost certainty once I finish my masters. So,
Yeah.
and then leave the UK to move to be with y'all in the homeland.
Yes.
Much better. Much better.
What about you, Sam? What would you say is your next
What's your
steps?
plan?
What's your plan, boy?
Fuck all idea.
Frigged if I know.
Yeah.
I don't really know.
I mean,
I
no
think
clue. Yeah.
my entire next steps is solely based on what happens with you.
No pressure. No fucking pressure.
Yeah. No
Because
pressure.
because we want you to come over here,
Oh yeah.
and depending on when that happens, it's kind of just a matter of then going from there. Like in terms of what you and I want, and in terms of what might be possible otherwise with our combined incomes and all those things.
Yeah.
Because I can't pretend like I wouldn't want to try and pursue some endeavors with music or content
Thank
creation.
God. I thought you were gonna say I can't. I'll be lying if I said I didn't want children. Oh, I'm like, man, I'm too young for kids yet. Whoa.
Oh, no. No, I would be wanting to pursue like some content creation or some music stuff, but naturally there needs to be a budget for that and enough
Yeah,
kind of
of
time
course.
to make that happen.
So we
And
could. Yeah. Go on. Sorry.
that won't be there until you and I have settled and we are on a combined financial structure and we have
Yeah.
the leftover everything needed.
Of course. So we could essentially say though those descriptions we've just given are our current main quests. If our life was an RPG, like if our life
Yeah.
was an RPG, they're our current main quests.
Yeah.
So moving on from that, what would you say is your biggest boss battle right now? What is your biggest boss fight that you're dealing with right now?
Time management, and it's not even close.
It's so fair.
And I
Like,
am losing.
I am fighting between remembering to stream and editing the videos, making shorts here and there. I just started doing voice acting, which is also taking up my time, and I also am wanting to do like some extra of this shit, some extra of that shit. I'm wanting to learn a bunch of new skills, but despite having a lot of free time, I just am very bad at managing my time.
You also forget things like sleeping, eating,
Actually,
socializing.
no, I would actually say of all people, I have actually never really been the kind to forget eating or sleeping.
That's just a me thing,
Because
then. Damn it.
if I sleep late, then I sleep in. If possible, and I have a general sort of schedule when it comes to eating every day. I never go without the amount of food I need.
Fair.
So that part I'm good. But every other form of time management, I'm fucked if I can fucking figure that out. Like I have this many things I want to do, and I'm interested in doing, but I will still end up spending 2 hours rewatching that time I was reincarnated as a slime.
Fair.
What about you, Sam? What do you think is your biggest boss fight right now?
Uh, money.
I was gonna say I have
That's
an idea of
such
what it
a
might
fair
be.
Yeah.
statement.
I think just trying to keep everything afloat is
Yeah.
That's one
probably
thing
just
they
it.
don't fucking teach you as a kid, is it? Like
No,
how to manage your finances as an adult.
it's not even a matter of management. It's just a matter of how to find money you don't have in a healthy way.
Yeah, with
I think
when life throws you curveballs, you know.
yeah. I think I think one thing that you not really get taught enough as a kid is that the ability to stay afloat is in no way like guaranteed. It's not guaranteed, nor is it easy to acquire.
Oh no,
Like,
Yeah.
absolutely. I
because
can.
as like many ways, like when you're a kid, you're like you're used to you live with your parents and you live with your parent, and it's like, oh, this is easy. But then the second you start having to pay some of your own things, you're like, holy fuck, where did that money go?
Oh, absolutely. Like
Yeah.
I can. The one thing I think for me, the one thing linking to that, um, I think another thing that you don't learn when they talk about obviously when you're talking about that and the ability to stay afloat is that when you struggle to stay afloat, it's not always your fault. You're not it's not because you're overspending all the time or you're making frivolous purchases or you're taking on more than you can handle. Like it's not always like that. You know, and like I think for me there is a lot of shame with that. So when uh it was like there's been two periods of time in my life where I've unfortunately been homeless. Um,
Mm.
one since I knew Sam, and one before that. Um, and I remember I was living out of my car, and I was basically sleeping in this tiny ass fucking car in a lay-by just outside of my city, and none of my friends knew, none of my family friends knew. It was after my parents had passed away. None of like my siblings didn't know, my big sister, my brother, nobody knew cuz I was just like riddled with shame. But only after the fact did I look at it as actually that wasn't my fault. You know,
Yeah,
that
no.
Yeah.
wasn't my fault. Like I had a job. I was working a job working borderline like illegal hours in a job where I was getting beaten regularly by clients. You know, this resulted in me being hospitalized because a kid took a knife and stabbed me in the back of the neck and like slit across the back of my head. Like but I was still going to work and working the hours. I was getting paid, but the housing market in the UK is so
Yeah.
difficult. Like even
Oh
for
yeah.
rental properties, like my apartment I live in now, I mean y'all have just been here. Like this is a decent apartment for the standards of the UK housing market right now. And for all intents and purposes, it's not the fanciest thing, it's not the flashiest thing, but it's something.
Something, yeah.
But
It's good enough
it's
to
not
call home.
in the UK, it's not like easy to get a property. So you have to go through credit checks. You have to go through like really in-depth credit checks. Have guarantors. You know, go through referencing, and it can take ages.
Yeah.
So only now, like years down the line, I'm actually sitting here and going, actually, that wasn't my fault. Like I was doing everything right. I just couldn't catch a fucking break.
Well, I think
Yeah.
that absolutely ties into the fact that you're like as as a younger person, you're just not told that it's okay to struggle. Like like you're often sort of presented a life that was gotten back when like financial situations were a lot easier.
Oh
You know,
yeah,
when you could actually
100%.
afford a house, and they're doing fine, and they're like, and thereby you sort of get this thing engraved in the back of your head that you should be fine at that age or at any age. You should be fine. You should be able to do fine.
Well,
You shouldn't struggle.
this leads
And then,
seamlessly onto my biggest boss battle right now, and I'm sure y'all aren't gonna be surprised by this. This leads seamlessly on. Good job, Sarah. Y'all are not
you're
gonna be
welcome. You're
surprised
welcome.
by this, but my biggest boss fight right now is probably my mental health. Like,
Mm.
I think for me, having to constantly fight and advocate for myself to get the help that I need for my mental health. To have to fight for medication because you've moved to a different area, registered with a different doctor, and they're not giving you your medication, to have to fight for a correct diagnosis, to have to, really
Yeah.
try super hard every single day to get out of bed, to go for a
Mm,
shower, to brush your teeth, to talk to people, and for me, like, I make no, like, I'm not shy about this. Y'all, I think I definitely know Sam knows this, but I don't know if you know, you might know. I have a self-harm addiction. So, like, imagine the feeling when you're sat in a psychiatrist's office and they're like, yeah, no, this isn't just self-harm because you're sad. This is self-harm because you're actually addicted. Like, a person becomes addicted to alcohol, a person becomes addicted to cocaine, you're addicted to cutting, like, it's a big culture shock. I'm doing well.
Yeah.
I'm about 13 weeks clean right now, which is fucking incredible.
big baller, brilliant. Yeah.
Hell
Baller.
yeah. Proud of you.
Thank you. I couldn't have done it without you guys.
But yeah,
But I
Mm.
oh,
think
yeah. I
for
mean,
me, that's the
yeah.
biggest boss battle
Anything
right
that
now.
brings, sort of a release, attention release can become addictive,
Oh, 100%.
because it doesn't even need like, because I don't doubt that because like looking back at it, I'm realizing that things that I did just because I thought they were who I were probably pseudo addictions.
Yeah, okay.
Like for example, when I was like for a long period of my life, I've been depressed most of my life because I lost basically the at 6 years old I lost basically the closest thing I had to my father, and I never got that checked. Like I never had anyone to talk with.
Oh, I'm sorry, love.
And then I became more like self-isolating. I shut out, and then I started getting bullied for like 5 years.
Oh, Jesus. That's rough.
Yeah.
And then because I had basically like the only real friend I had throughout a lot of that time was Sam, and
Sam, why are you bullying people? Why were you
and
bullying Sam as most vulnerable? You fucking asshole.
Damn. Damn.
but like I the only friend I had was Sam, and he didn't go to the same fucking class because yeah, wasn't in the same fucking school area. So and I'm realizing now that shutting myself out and like pushing others away and just being generally a very quiet person was probably a pseudo addiction, because it was one of the few things that made me feel sort of safe.
Oh, yeah,
The
you
one of the things that made me
definitely.
feel safe was not interacting with people, because I felt like no matter who I would interact with, I was gonna get betrayed, because I just had felt like I gotten betrayed so many times by that point.
Oh,
Which-
I think you definitely build up those tendencies to shut yourself away, to
Yeah,
not
call
let
it a
people in.
trauma response, call it an addiction. I feel like
Call it whatever.
the designation doesn't matter. The point is the same. There are things you do because they were the one thing that brought you any amount of safety or release.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
they
There's a
aren't
real.
good but at the same time they're not good for you.
Yeah. It's not a healthy way to go about things.
Yeah, self-harm is bad for obvious reasons, and self-isolation is bad for also obvious reasons.
Well, absolutely, they're one and the same in the respect that they're both negative coping strategies. But
Yeah.
equally, we can't beat ourselves up for it if that's the only coping strategy that we have.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sam's just like, yeah.
Self harm. Your Roman Empire.
Self harm is not my Roman Empire.
You're
Jesus.
You're Alexander the Great. You run out of places to go.
Yeah.
So moving on from unhealthy coping mechanisms, because we're kind of in like
Yeah.
we're kind of in like mental health check-in point right now.
Oh, really? I
When did
didn't
that
notice.
start? Whoa.
Yeah.
Good notice.
What would you say is a healthy coping mechanism that you developed since whenever, since adulthood, since
Alcoholism.
teenage? I've developed
Yeah.
alcoholism. Woohoo! No, we do not advocate for alcoholism. Please, if you do feel like you are,
No, I tried
if
that
you are,
shit. It was not
oh
fun.
no, me too,
Nicotine
bestie, me
addiction.
too.
Slay.
Sammy.
I
No.
once I like I can't say I was ever an alcoholic, but I can say that I tried the equivalent of it because I only drink if either A, there's something special, or if I'm with friends that are drinking, right?
Yep.
But once I was feeling like absolute shit. I was tired. I was lonely. I was sad, and I just fucking filled up a fucking like hip flask with
Hip flask?
86%,
Hip flask?
and I
You'd
just
say
yeah, the hip flask, yeah.
hip flask of hell. You
Shut the fuck up, fuck off. Because this stuff that was in this was worse because it's 86%.
yeah, no, but
And
did it fuck
am
you up
and
like my hip flask did?
it fucked me up worse because I finished 2 full hip flasks that night. And I felt good in the moment, but the day after, I felt like, obviously I felt like shit. That was luckily before I really started getting hangovers, so I
Yeah.
mainly just felt like shit because I realized what I'd done. But luckily, my brain is the kind that's very how do you say? It's very practical. So it looked at it in a way that is a lot easier to tell yourself to not do that again, because instead of just thinking, man, I feel bad afterwards, which is the kind of thing that never stopped anyone, I instead looked at that, man, that was a waste of alcohol. That was expensive. That was an expensive way to ruin a night.
Yeah.
And then I haven't done it since because I was just like, I don't like if I'm gonna do something that's gonna ruin my night, I'm at least gonna make sure it's free.
Oh yeah, 100%.
That was not really connected to the question, but you know, I like going on tangents.
That's what this is. That's what this is. But what would you say is like
Healthy coping
healthy
mechanism.
coping mechanism?
Close one, that.
Coping mechanism.
Okay, in that case, I suppose I need to ask, what are we defining as a coping mechanism?
Anything that you do to keep yourself afloat that's healthy and doesn't hurt
Fucking
you.
hanging out with Sam every Tuesday.
Aww,
Yeah.
that's so
Slay.
sweet.
That like having like getting a permanent like thing to do every week with a mate that did a lot of good. I think for both of us, honestly,
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
because it's something to always look forward to.
Yeah, I look. To
always
be
looking
honest,
forward to it.
I look forward to my phone ringing on a Tuesday to see what shenanigans you're about to throw down me on FaceTime.
Usually it's
Yeah.
just me struggling to get to the bathroom before Sam does, so he doesn't fucking kill me with a gas attack.
No, don't.
Oh,
Why do you
yeah.
think I had to buy an extra spray for my bathroom whenever Sam comes over?
I don't weak sauce it like that. If he managed to get out there first, then I take that
take
fucking
it.
punishment. Then I use that as reinforcement to be faster next time.
gross.
The divine scent
Gross.
of God hits your nostrils.
That just means I need to be faster next time.
What would you say, Sam, is your healthy coping mechanism that you've sort of developed over time?
I don't really know. I don't really have a lot of insight into stuff like this.
You don't really have any healthy coping mechanism.
I don't have healthy
don't-
ones. I don't.
I mean, you could probably just say the same.
Yeah,
you could
probably
say the
just-
same.
You're sitting there like, hey, you could say the same thing,
Yeah.
so I don't feel like a fucking idiot sitting here saying it alone.
You could agree that it's good.
Yeah.
I said it's good for the both of us, but I guess it's not. I guess I was just talking on my ass.
No, I would say the same thing probably. I don't really have any other examples. Like it's yeah.
One other thing I guess you could say is being overly arrogant.
Mm.
Because I've realized that just being overly overconfident and like borderline a narcissist sometimes, without the drawbacks of being a narcissist, that is looking lower on others. Um, that feels really good, and I've been doing that recently. And honestly, that's really helped me get a lot more self confidence.
Fair enough.
I love that. I think
Just keep saying what you want is to be true, and eventually you'll believe it.
that's so fair. I
Your
think for
will
me,
be the drill to
the
pierce the heavens.
my
Oh
coping
yes.
might it might sound unhealthy when I say it out loud. My healthy coping mechanism is running away from my problems and flying to another country, i.e., flying to you guys.
Yeah. My healthy coping mechanism is
my
fleeing the country.
my healthy
I mean,
coping
That's
mechanism
how I
is
cope with with the
call that
crimes
one
on
the
my
Mexican
record.
style.
That
that's my healthy coping mechanism is fleeing the country and fleeing Reform UK.
honestly, that's fair. Yeah.
We call that one the Mexican style.
No, we don't. We
No, we
really
do
don't
not.
do that.
We do not do that. Um, but no, either that or I'm finally getting to the point now where I'm able to communicate in a healthier way. So communicate how I'm feeling, communicating what my needs are, especially when it comes to like communicating openly and honestly about like my mental health and things like that. So I like last year, so like last year I let my sister in. I let my sister in. I let my sister know how I was feeling, how things were affecting me. I'm communicating, or at least I'm trying to. It's difficult because of my toxic like past relationships, but I'm trying to communicate with Sam better. I'm leaning on my
Yeah.
friends a little bit more. Like I talk to you, Sam, and I talk to Vixie and Ren and Anne, and leaning on my friends more. Instead of shutting myself away, isolating myself like it's COVID, and taking a fresh blade to my beautiful skin.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So I think for me, it's just learning to not be so cynical. Because
Yeah.
for the longest time, I was kind of like, I expected people to be assholes and then hoped that I was going to be pleasantly
I can relate
surprised.
to that. Yeah.
So, and to some extent, I do still expect people to be assholes and then hope to be pleasantly surprised. Unfortunately, that is sometimes not the case. But I think for me, that's one of my biggest coping mechanisms that I'm trying to sort of engage with a bit more is like communicating a bit better, leaning on people more, leaning on Sam, leaning on my friends, and
Yeah.
and
If anyone in
remembering.
the comments is about to say that's not a coping mechanism, that's just called being smart, then I'm gonna fucking beat you.
Yeah, I'm gonna let Sarah beat you, and Sam will probably do the same.
Facts.
So, and I think we're gonna go towards sort of a bit of a weird one, like a weird one-off question that doesn't fit into
Well,
anything.
a final thing for me has just been rewatching Gurren Lagann.
Yeah.
That show helped me so much when I first saw it, and every time I rewatch it, I literally can't bring myself to feel like shit. Like I cannot feel bad about myself or feel like shit after having watched it
Okay.
again.
Okay, so on that note, looking at media and looking at things like that, what would you say is a video game character, an anime, a show, anything that has influenced you as a
Yeah.
person,
Mm,
as a person
yeah.
with feelings?
I know his answer.
Yeah,
What's your
you know
answer?
my answer.
I think I know your answer as well, to be fair, but I don't know what your answer would be, Sam.
Um, I don't know what my answer would be either. Uh,
Gotta say, now I'm kind of interested in what you think my answer is, Kaya.
Um,
hmm.
I couldn't remember. I know you've told me. We discussed it in the other server once, so you also know who my answer is. But
Yeah, yeah,
But I
I
don't think
do.
that's difficult to know from my answers,
No, I
What
saw enough. I saw enough merchandise of him when I visited.
You did no such
is
thing.
it?
What do you mean?
What do you mean? Is your answer fucking um? Is your answer fucking like what Myers? Or...
No.
No,
My
the
yeah,
Baldur's
no,
Gate.
Oh,
I
Astarion.
resonate with Michael Myers. I want to be a
Yeah,
serial killer.
I want to
I
be
mean,
fucking Edward
I
Gein.
want to be
Yeah.
Ed Gein.
I mean, I would at this point, to be fair.
No,
No, dude, yuck.
Uh,
Um
yeah.
see, that's an unhealthy coping
so
mechanism.
yeah, so okay, so I'll go. I feel like okay, Neil Newbon, if you ever see this, you're a god. But I think for me, is Astarion from Baldur's Gate. So it's no surprise to anybody that Baldur's Gate 3 is by far my favorite video game of like all time. And my
Yeah,
only claim to fame is I played it in beta when I went to a con here in England. Um
your only
Mm.
claim to
my
fame is
only
that you
claim to
played that
fame is
game
that I
in
played
beta.
Baldur's Gate 3 in beta.
That is, and I mean this with every bit of love, the most pathetic sentence I've ever heard.
Wow, I love you too,
Hey,
Sam. Wow. Um no, but like I think
Have some more faith in
have
yourself,
some more
goddamn.
faith in yourself. God damn. Okay, fine. I'll try. I think for me, so Astarion is if for y'all who haven't played Baldur's Gate, Astarion is a wonderful, wonderful character, one of the companion characters. He's a on the surface, he's like a charming, sarcastic vampire who flirts with everyone, which is why a lot of people assume that that's the whole appeal of him. He's a vampire, he's a pale elf vampire. He is pretty delicious, but I don't really connect with the vampire part as much as I connect with his backstory. So, spoiler alert now, if you have not played Baldur's Gate and you intended on playing Baldur's Gate and you don't want any spoiler of Astarion's lore, please mute now. Because I am going to be talking about his lore a little bit. So,
Just put like a timestamp or
yeah,
something.
timestamp it.
mm.
So basically, his backstory is he spent about 200 years under the control of another vampire, Khazador, the Vampire Lord, who treated him as a vampire spawn, almost like a pet, like property. He wasn't allowed to make his own choices. He was punished for disobedience. He was forced to do things he didn't want to do in order to survive. By the time the game starts, that's all before the game even starts. By the time the game starts, he's finally free, but he is carrying all of the damage that captivity leaves behind. So, what makes him so meaningful to me is how realistically that trauma affects him. So, he doesn't come out like as a perfect victim. He's not shy, he's not scared, but he's defensive, manipulative, afraid of being vulnerable, and obsessed with never being powerless again. And he often expects his relationships to be purely and solely transactional because that's all he's known for so long. So a lot of his story is about learning that he has value beyond what he can do for other people, and that he deserves care and love and affection even when he's not being useful, entertaining, attractive, or giving someone what they want. So it's about reclaiming that sort of autonomy, so to speak, and figuring out
Freedom, yeah.
who you are after years of having your choices taken away. So I really connect with that, not necessarily because I've been in his exact situation. I have not been in the captivity of a vampire lord. But
Oh yeah, at least.
not yet. Ayo. But because of those themes of feeling trapped, having to survive by meeting other people's expectations, struggling to trust kindness, and trying to rebuild your sense of self after difficult experiences, and that's those feelings are very human, and his story really puts those feelings into words and actions in a way that really resonates with me. Because I've been through hell. Like, they're likely never gonna fucking watch this podcast, but if they do, you'll know who I'm fucking talking about. Like, I've been in captivity. Like when I first met Sam, I was basically in captivity.
Yeah.
I had no autonomy over myself. I had no control over myself or my body. The expectation was that I was there to serve. I was basically a harlequin. Harlequins are there to serve. And I was basically in that situation. And around the time that I first met Sam, he helped me in reminding me that I did have autonomy over myself. I held autonomy
Yeah.
over my own body, my mind, my thoughts, and that it wasn't a crime to try and get out of that situation. So I made a midnight escape, you know? And, like, I'm forever grateful to Sam for that. He knows he saved my life. He doesn't let it go to his head, but if it did, his head would be massive.
Damn.
And
Yeah, you wouldn't want
he
that.
likes massive head. But
Well, from you, yes.
equally that's kind of why I resonate.
Unfortunately, he lacks the tools.
Tell me about it.
What?
Microscopic
Okay.
grain of rice. But no, I think that for me is why I resonate with Astarion so much. And I love
Because he has a
that.
grain of rice.
Yeah, I can see it's a grain of rice. Yeah,
Because he doesn't have a grain
yeah,
of
but
rice.
fucking wonderful, Sam. Way to fucking take that entire spiel
And make it about you.
Condense it into a fucking gag.
Well, I mean, there's not much to gag on, so
That's martyrdom right there. That's
yeah.
Martyrdom. Martyrdom.
yikes.
What about you boys?
Yes,
Yep.
Sam, do you want one?
Um, I couldn't tell you.
What do you mean?
I can't think of someone.
There's no
Not
one
even
in
like Trapper from Dead by
any.
Daylight?
Well, I know, like, I suppose the closest would be to just kind of the closest answer that I could give would be probably the same answer that Sarm's about to give, but the only reason that that is an answer for me isn't because of the character; it's because of him. So it's not really it doesn't really count the same way.
Fair, that's fair.
So I will let you give your answer.
Well, my answer is Kamina
Yep.
from Gurren Lagann. I think he sort of resonated with me because the way he sort of acts and the way he is perfectly reflected sort of who I wanted to be and how I wish I was. He was this loud-mouthed, overly confident, complete fucking confidence in himself and those around him. Just generally like masculinity like made manifest without any of the drawbacks. But then you see, essentially he's a guy who lived his entire life underground in an underground village, and when he was young, his father brought him up to the surface and asked if he wanted to come along, but he was scared and chose to stay down. And his father then said to come meet him one day. And he's essentially doing everything he can to try and prove that choice didn't define him. That choice of fear didn't define him, and that he is worthy to be someone that his father could be proud of. But the thing that really struck me is the moment where we see him sort of almost get a panic attack, and we see sort of how the real him is constantly trying to keep that brave face up despite all the anxieties and fears and pains in his head. And I think that really struck with me because I really want to be like he is, but at the same time, I know I can't be that internally. But what he showed me is that masculinity and being that sort of balls to the walls, extreme confidence in yourself, confidence in everything else, it doesn't need to come from a place of that same level of confidence. It simply needs to have it come from sort of a place of faith in those around you to catch you if you fall. Because Kamina has complete faith in his brother Simon to the point where Simon thinks Kamina is his rock, but in reality, to Kamina, Simon is his rock. Because he can't keep putting on that brave face unless he has someone he knows he can fall back on. And I think that really struck with me because I've always sort of been worried, am I masculine enough? Because that was the thing that I don't know why, but I've always felt this like, am I masculine enough to be considered sort of a cool dude, a cool guy? And then I saw that it doesn't really matter how you are on the outside. What matters is that like you got someone to fall back on. And
Yeah.
his struggle to sort of keep that brave face going, but his ability to do so because of those around him, his friends, his brother, it really sort of helped cement in my heart that it's okay to be uncertain. It's okay to have anxieties. It's okay to be afraid. So long as you can put on the whatever face you want and know that those around you have got your back, you can do anything, even if it means standing up to a 500-foot tall robot with a katana and remaining confident.
That's
Yeah.
really sweet. That is really sweet. I really need to
So
watch
yeah,
this anime.
that like Gurren Lagann as a whole is probably the single most impactful piece of media I've had in my life because it is very much an over the top anime, but it's also absolutely a message of overcoming adversity through trying and never giving up, and that's something I really needed at the time I first watched it.
I love that. I really think that's really sweet. I really need to watch. Y'all need to watch this anime with me, please,
Yeah, absolutely.
please. Um,
We will.
defo. Well, on that, I just want to do my final sort of little ending segment. But I just really wanted to thank you guys so much for coming and being with me on the first episode of this new
Oh my god, yeah, it was fucking
adventure.
fun.
This new
It was
adventure, this
fun.
passion project. But I
Yeah.
gotta ask my ending segment stuff. So, what's your current HP out of 100?
Fucking
999.
999.
10, bro.
10.
I don't know.
What's draining your HP? In one word, what's draining your HP?
One word? Can I make it
You
a
can-
word that you could technically make into one word if you applied a dash?
Yes.
Time management.
Okay. Sam, what's draining your HP?
Yes,
Money.
yeah,
Money.
stress.
Or
I
the
guess.
lack thereof, I guess.
Stress is fair. Stress is a good one.
Yeah, stress is a good answer, yeah.
What's restoring your HP?
Honestly, in one word or
However many. I would say for me, restoring my HP is my friends and my wonderful relationship with Sam.
Yeah,
I would
same.
say that and the ability to do something that I never thought I would be able to do, which is stream and make videos that people find entertaining.
Sam, did you say same? So your what restoring your HP is your friends and your relationship with Sam.
Yeah, totally.
Your relationship. No. You misunderstand. He meant his relationship with me.
Dang. Okay. Can I watch?
Oh,
Yeah.
gladly.
Why do you think I just bought those chairs?
Do it tickle?
Oh yeah.
Do it
Oh,
tickle?
it does tickle when I'm there.
Okay.
Does it tick?
Now for the viewers, one game recommendation. Sarah, go.
Yakuza 0.
Sam, go.
If you say Dead by Daylight, I'm disowning you.
Dead by Daylight.
Cult of the Lamb.
Oh,
Ooh,
okay.
that's a good one.
My recommendation is Baldur's Gate 3. One music music recommendation. I say Frictional Swipe OCT. Serum, go.
Do you want like a song or an artist or like
Song and artist.
Liberate Me from Hell, the Gurren Lagann OST.
Sam, go. ？ . 。
uh 。 . 。 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 。 . 。 。 . 。 。 . 。 。 . 。 。 . 。 . 。 。 . 。
Sam, go.
Man, I don't have my Spotify pulled up. I can't.
It's okay.
Uh, 1 sec.
That's okay.
Hold on, I gotta just
We can wait. We can
Yeah,
wait.
fucking. Where did it go?
Why did I
where'd they
say
go?
why did I say frictionless wipe?
You did, in that fact, say frictionless wipe.
Yeah.
Frictionless wipe OCT. Listen, I just gotta.
It's a good
It's a
song,
good
but it
song,
is an
and
interesting
their
one to.
music
It is
their
an
music
interesting
video
one to.
slaps.
Yeah, it is just an interesting one to suggest.
Anything by OCT generally. Um,
Um,
But
fuck it.
specifically, frictionless wipe from
specifically
Kaya.
frictionless wipe.
Fuck it. I'll put on Eleanor Rigby by Gunship as my current recommendation.
But the
Hello,
gunship
Rigby.
version.
That's a good one.
Yeah, it's a good
Okay.
song.
And that's it. I wanted to thank everybody for joining me here on episode number 1 of the Low HP Club. Remember to take care of yourselves, use a healing item when you need one, and I will see you in the next episode when we will be talking about the comfort zone, the games, music, people, and habits that we always come back to. So, thank you very much, and stay safe out there, guys, and I'll see you all again
Safe.
very soon. Bye-bye!
Bye.
Bye.